All right, guys, today we're going to talk about 3 ways for you to make immediate profits in any real estate market, especially the one we have right now. Right now, everybody is talking about it's going to crash, it's too high, it's never been this high before. And we've heard that. We've heard that since 2020 when the market really took off. Then we had COVID, then we had this, and there's all these reasons why it isn't going to happen tomorrow. It's always going to be down the road, or it's always going to be this, it doesn't matter what side of the fence you're on. It's always going to be later. It never happened like we wanted it to happen. So let's talk about the 3 ways that you can profit immediately in real estate in any market. Guys, my name is Shannon Robnett, and just to give you a little bit of a hint of what I've been doing for the last 30 years, I've been doing real estate. I was born into the family. It's been a family business. My parents are both real estate entrepreneurs. They retired at 50 years old on cash flow, that mailbox money, that elusive thing that everybody talks about. And it was what I grew up eating, breathing, sleeping. It's all we did at home. And it was so gross and yucky when I was a kid. But man, has it served me well later on in life. So with that, as a 4th-generation realtor and a 2nd-generation builder developer, I feel a little bit of tribal knowledge here that I could pass on to you. But I want to talk to you about 3 things today that you can do to make money in any market immediately. So, you guys ready? All right, here we go. The number 1 thing that you can do in any market is to buy performing notes. Buy first position notes on existing real estate. Guys, there's always people, if you go to your local REIT, right, your real estate investing group, or you go to a meetup, you can find lots of these places where real estate investors hang out. And these guys are looking for private money. Now, when you hear the term private money, that doesn't mean money that nobody knows about. It's actually money that a lot of people know about, but it's money that is there to buy something that doesn't quite qualify on a regular real estate scale, or maybe it's just short term and they don't want to deal with it, right? A perfect example is if you're buying a house that the septic system failed on it, and you know that you're getting a really good deal on it because it's a bank foreclosure, the septic system failed, nobody wants to deal with it, and you can buy this $100,000 house for 30 grand. And I've seen it. Even last month I saw it, right? I flipped one to a friend of mine that I think he's going to pick up 25% under market in one of the hottest real estate markets in the nation. They're available. But a lot of times you got to close quick. You got to do the deal now, and you can't quite get all the cash done. You just found a really great deal last week, and man, you just found another one. And these real estate investor meetup groups are great places to meet people like that. Make sure that you know who you're working with, but then get in first position. I've watched deals happen, not in alleys, in conference rooms, and in title companies where they're buying the property. So John Smith is buying the property. I'm the bank. I'm charging John a decent rate, maybe a point or 2 for loan origination fee, and I am the lender, and I am in first position on the property. So John Smith happens to fail to do what he's supposed to do, fail to make the payments, get hit by a bus, whatever it is, wind up on America's Most Wanted. I am in the first position and I can repossess the property. So why is that an immediate way to make money? Well, number 1, you're only going to loan 70 to 75, maybe as high as 80% of the value or of the cost of the property. So if he's buying a $100,000 property, that doesn't matter to me. He needs to borrow $30,000 to buy this $35,000 property. Yeah, that's about right. $6,000 down. I'm in at 80%. I now have first position. If John doesn't perform, I know the market's 100. I've done the research. I've looked at what the house sold for next door. I know what's going on. I can now comfortably loan John the money to buy the house. In fact, I probably feel comfortable enough that with the draw system, I can loan John the money to fix the house up because he says it's going to cost him $40,000 to fix it up. That's going to put me into this $100,000 house for 70 grand. That's 70 cents on the dollar. Even in a market that may crash, you've got room. You've got the ability to pick up the property at less than replacement cost, even in that market. In the meantime, you're making great money because typically private lenders charge somewhere between 10 and 12% and 1 and 2 points loan origination fee. So obviously, the smaller the loan, the more points you're going to charge. Then you're able to secure that with a title company, with title insurance. You go through all the proper processes so that you are the lender on the title. So that allows you to put yourself in first position on the deal. The second way to do that is to buy already performing notes. And those are available. In fact, if you Google it, there's tons and tons of people that talk about how to buy performing notes. There's people that have done the deal just like me that now have something that's going to spit off 12% return for the next 2 years, but they want their capital back and they want to go to the next deal. So without doing any of that work, any of that hustle, any of that jive, you can verify that it's got title insurance. You can verify those things, and then you can purchase the note and not have to do any of that. So now you're getting the cash flow stream of 10, 12% on your $70,000. That's a great way to do it and never have to worry about the tenants, toilets, and trash because somebody else is in first position and is doing the work. But you're at a discounted position and you don't have to worry about what's going to happen there because if the market slides, you're still going to be covered, right? So you're going to be able to stay in that position with little or none of the work. Somebody else has gone out, they found the investor, they loaned him the money, they set up the note, they did the title insurance, they have all those things, and then you're just buying this already performing note off of them. The other one that's a little bit more risky than that has to do with non-performing notes, and non-performing notes they're just not performing. The owner is not making the payment. There's things that need to be done. There's a foreclosure process to do there, something, and there's work to be done there. I've interviewed several people on my podcast, which you could find at the RobNet Real Estate Rundown. We'd love to have you listen to us. But there's a lot of things that you can find there that talk about how to get non-performing notes and either make them perform or foreclose on the property. My personal opinion, I wouldn't ever go into a second position on a property just because if first position ever forecloses and there's not enough to satisfy first position, second position gets immediately wiped out. Not a great day for them. So I would only recommend first position mortgages, but you can do non-performing and performing, both great ways to get into the note business. The other way to do it, stay in the real estate genre because as you know, market's strong, rents are strong, things are happening, is to invest in REITs. What is a REIT? Well, it's a real estate investment trust, right? They're usually traded on the stock market. They're billion-dollar companies that have lots and lots of real estate. One of the ones that I've actually worked with, I sold some property to, is company called Kennedy Wilson. Kennedy Wilson right now has a portfolio that they've recently refinanced. They've got all their debt redone. They don't have any real big debt come due to be redone until 29 or 30. They've done all the high-level stuff. They've got over 200 employees. They've got massive amounts of things going on. They've acquired $370 million worth of property in the last 12 months. I mean, these guys are really doing some great stuff. They bought some of mine. I mean, they got some good stuff, right? But at the end of the day, these guys are required by law in their documents and how they're set up. They're required to distribute the earnings. So you're able to get a distribution, which is a great way to let somebody else do all the work on a national level. You're paying a bit of overhead. I mean, 225 employees that's quite a bit, but these guys are international. They're in Ireland, they're in Europe. I mean, these guys are all over, and they're currently producing about a 6% dividend, which means that at the end of the day, for buying a stock, you're doing zero of the work, and you're getting a dividend based on that. Now, if the stock becomes more valuable and you bought at a lower price, your dividend will increase. You can see an 8-9% return on what's happening there and still be in a really great position. And these guys have balance sheets that they maintain. They're really strong in how they're done. And all the underwriting is right here. They've got stock analysis. They got all this stuff. So you can be involved in real estate from the stock side of things. So you can buy into that REIT. That's another great way to be involved in real estate without the headaches and without the daily grind of everything you need to do. So those three things will help you stay on top of your real estate game and how to profit in any market. If you want to know more about things like this, you want to have a conversation with me, run on over to my website, shannonrobnett.com. I'd love to chat with you guys about what we're doing, how you can get other things that are going on in real estate, bounce some ideas off each other. But you know where to find me, guys. shannonrobnett.com. I look forward to the conversations. We'll talk to you soon.